Data, data, data. Where would we be without data? Nowhere, that's where. What's next in data? Let's find out in the top 10 data predictions for 2019. Number 10, the demand for data officers will grow. The analyst WizKids at Gartner predict that 90% of large global companies will have a CDO, that's a Chief Data Officer, by the end of the year. As data emerges as a crucial component of many ongoing business strategies, it's time to bring data science into the C-suite. In the past, the responsibilities for things like business intelligence and analytics has fallen within the hands of CIOs. However, CDO roles will grow increasingly common in 2019. Number 9, the operationalization of data pipelines will begin. CIOs and CDOs alike will also see a shift towards bigger data pipelines for analytics, AI, and machine learning purposes. Innovators like Guillermo Diaz Jr. of Cisco and Praniti Lakwara of Aptus are no strangers to data management. These are the professionals leading the way towards the proper collection and utilization of data. Number 8, businesses invest more in the cloud. Hey you, get off of my cloud. Actually, forget that. We need more businesses on cloud. The scope of the data we collect today is so vast that the cloud is essential. According to Forrester, global spending on big data solutions via the cloud is growing 7.5 times faster than on-premise solutions. Those with interest in tools like IoT, AI, and machine learning will continue to expand their investments in the cloud this year. Number 7, automation continues to enhance the as-a-service model. According to IDC, we may even begin to see the arrival of data-as-a-service solutions. A study into European companies found that 90% of enterprises will start to generate revenue by offering data as a service going forward. The business plan will involve selling raw information to companies that need to educate ML and automation models. Number 6, more GDPR strategies will include blockchain technology. Amar Singh, the CEO and founder of Cyber Management Alliance, recently mentioned at EM360 that GDPR is an obligation. He believes that GDPR will push companies to think more carefully about how they manage privacy. One way that companies may begin to meet their GDPR obligation in 2019 is with the use of blockchain technology. According to Gartner, over 25% of GDPR-driven proof-of-concept implementations will use blockchain technology. This is an increase from only 2% in 2018. Number 5, companies will look for new ways to leverage IoT data. The IoT craze isn't going anywhere in 2019, and according to the figures from Energius Market Research, IoT will grow to a value of $6.5 trillion in 2024. Partially, the growth comes from the increased affordability of things like smart sensors and devices. Additionally, consumers are becoming more comfortable with things like AI and intelligent speakers. Number 4, edge computing grows in prominence. The growth of things like IoT and AI leads to disruptions in the technology sector. In an interview with Rhonda Acertio, 451's research director, she told us that a company is always thinking one step ahead. Edge computing is one of the emerging trends sure to transform the data center as we know it. Edge computing extends the cloud to the edge of the network. This means that smart devices won't be limited to sending data to the cloud. Instead, the devices can analyze datasets themselves. Each device may become an intermediary between an endpoint and huge data centers at the heart of cloud computing. Number 3, quantum computing ideas accelerate. Technology today is evolving at such a rapid pace it's difficult to keep up. This makes it harder for companies to stay ahead of the curve with data, however, it also presents problems for cybersecurity. According to James Lyon of Sophos, keeping up with cybercriminals is a really challenging issue. One way for larger companies to stay ahead of the game is to speed up the way they interpret large volumes of data. Quantum computing could be the answer to many of the industry's current problems. Number 2, concerns around privacy poisoning mount. Blockchain promises stronger solutions for data protection and management, however, it's not perfect. Ruud Harshman, the marketing strategist of Unibright, told us that having a voice of reason to lead the way is essential with new technologies. Blockchains need an immutable data structure, which makes it difficult to deliver the privacy that regulations like GDPR ask for. The right to be forgotten would be impossible, as entries into public chains are permanent. Number 1, the backup and archiving of personal data continues to present problems. Finally, today's businesses hold on to vast amounts of personal data, and this information is sensitive and vulnerable, but most companies have no intention of using it. According to Gartner, the simple presence of this data could present the most significant privacy risk to 70% of organizations by 2020. This is a huge increase when you consider that only 10% of companies were struggling in 2018. In the years ahead, businesses will need to work quickly to revise their data retention policies, or else risk severe problems with issues like GDPR. For the best podcasts, the best white papers, the best features, the best interviews, and more amazing top 10s like this, visit em360tech.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel.